Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN, and today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers as it concerns their wrap-up of the NBA restart. I just want to give you guys my thoughts and my opinions on what we witnessed overall when it came to the Lakers and the 8 games that they played in the NBA restart, and also what's the expectations for the Lakers moving forward when it comes to playoffs. I mean, there's a lot of opinions here and there and emotions when it comes to the Lakers and moving forward when it comes to the playoffs, and of course the 8 games that the Lakers played in that we have a lot of opinions about when it comes to that. But I just want to give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about it, and without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, guys, the Lakers just wrapped up their 8 games into the NBA restart. The record that they have so far is 3-5 into the NBA restart in the bubble. So there's a lot of emotions when it comes to how the Lakers performed overall in the bubble and the expectations moving forward. And, you know, I just want to put this out there right now. It still remains to be seen who the Lakers will actually be playing against. We already know who's in the 8th spot, and that is the Portland Trailblazers after knocking down the Memphis Grizzlies, which they still have an opportunity. I mean, it still remains to be seen. It's just a potential matchup for the Lakers moving forward into the playoffs when it comes to who they're going to be facing in the 8th spot. And it could be the Portland Trailblazers, and there are 3 teams that are basically tied when it comes to, or maybe it was just 2, but like always, I'll put the right accuracy of the records of, you know, either 4 of those teams or 3 of those teams that the Lakers could potentially be facing in the playoffs, you know, moving forward. But, you know, it's the Portland Trailblazers, the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the Suns, surprisingly. I did not realize that the Suns played this well in the bubble, in the NBA restart. So they are a basic shocker for me when it comes down to their performance overall in the bubble. And I believe there's another team in mind. I think it's the Spurs, something like that, but I think they're not so close to really clinching the number 8 spot. So it's either the Portland Trail Blazers, the Memphis Grizzlies, or the Phoenix Suns. I mean, they are the most teams right now that are basically tied at the 9th and 8th spots. So remains to be seen. Starting from right now, they are still. The Memphis Grizzlies are playing, I believe, the Bucks, and last time I checked, I think they're leading by 10 points. And then you have the Suns, who are also leading as well, just right now. I mean, as I'm recording this, they are still playing. So still remains to be seen how the Portland Trailblazers will play against the Brooklyn Nets. They could either get another win, so they could basically secure the 8th spot, or if they somehow loses, you never know, it could end up being something different. So like always, I'll keep you guys up to date about that particular spot. But getting back to the Lakers in general when it comes to the NBA restart and their 8 games that they played in. Personally, guys, I am not so impressed by the Lakers, how they played in the bubble. At first, when they beat the Clippers and, you know, just seeing them progress, I kind of thought, you know, they're just getting back into things. They're trying to learn how to play well together, get a little bit of rhythm in. And unfortunately, you know, it's just how it is when it comes to NBA teams when they move into a different situation and not always playing at their own you know, state or city. So you know, it's just one of those type of moments where we had to put that into that particular effect. But you know, when it came to the Lakers, how they played, you think that that a team, the number 1 spot, could play a little better than what we got out of the NBA bubble. So it is what it is. I mean, I was a bit disappointed. Especially when it came to shooting wise, the expectations was that the Lakers would have been a much better improved shooting team because of the added addition to Dion Waiters, J.R. Smith, and it just gave a much better opportunity for the rest of the Lakers squad, including like not Alex Caruso, but Kyle Kuzma and LeBron James and Anthony Davis to build that sort of relationship that they can basically become like the quote-unquote big three of LA. And unfortunately, we just did not witness that. We saw a glimpse. I'm not saying we haven't seen it, but we saw a glimpse of it, especially in the last game against the Denver Nuggets, where we saw that the Lakers and the combination of Kyle Kuzma and Anthony Davis and LeBron really fit very well at one point in that particular game. And honestly, it's just one of those type of moments where I expected that the Lakers would have, have a much better record going into the or wrapping up really the NBA restart. But unfortunately, it just wasn't the case. And overall, the lack of defense and the lack of communications really that was really lacking for the Los Angeles Lakers, and me personally, I just did not like when it came to them returning. Now, could this all change going into the playoffs? It will. I can honestly see that basically happening. Okay, we have a very good team when it comes to having veterans who played in the playoffs and also have played in the finals. If you look at this list, we have 23 players that are on this current roster who played in the playoffs and have experience of it. So the experience is there in playoffs and in finals. And, that all goes to LeBron James because, he reached 9 times in the finals. So the experience is there, and I can honestly say, guys, when it's all said and done, when it comes to playoff time, the Lakers will step up. And especially when they are going to face teams like the Portland Trail Blazers or the Phoenix Suns, if you will, because they are a good shooting team. If you realize how they played in the NBA bubble, they really showed that they are a good shooting team. And that's my fear when it comes to the Lakers, because they do lack shooting. But I can give them a good credit of this, though. They are a good defensive team. I believe they are ranked maybe 4th, maybe 5th when it comes to playing solid defense. And that's the Lakers. When it comes to that, I hope, praying that they bring that. And especially when it comes to players like Rajon Rondo, who, by the way, is back with the Los Angeles Lakers after getting injured and having, I believe, surgery, and being out for almost 6 to 8 weeks. He's finally back with the Los Angeles Lakers. It was reported by Dave McMenamin of ESPN, and he just basically said that he is back and he is practicing with the Lakers and taking a 4-day quarantine before he is going to practice with the Los Angeles Lakers. So having him back with his playoff experience, winning a championship, also plays a huge role when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers and helping out players like LeBron James, and especially LeBron James, because he is playing as the point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers, and having Rajon Rondo back, especially for a guy who's coming off the bench wise, will really help out the Lakers in a huge way, because if we can make also that particular argument of how the Lakers performed in the bubble in those 8 games, there's also that particular theory as well, because the Lakers did not have a pure point guard who was a floor general and just a good playmaker as well, that we haven't really seen that in quite some time from the Lakers since the return of the NBA. And, maybe that's lacking. You never know. I mean, there's a lot of theories going into how the Lakers played in the bubble. Some good, some bad. Most of it was because of the lack of shooting and just the lack of rotations when it comes to the Lakers. And we've been seeing how Frank Vogel has been mixing up the starting lineup and just seeing how they just progressed when it comes to, this the NBA restart in those 8 games. So it is basically what it is. The Lakers, regardless, they are the number 1 seed. They are going to the playoffs for the first time since the 2012-2013 season. So they broke that streak. They are finally in the playoffs. Not only in the playoffs, but they are the number 1 seed. And the theory is that they are potential, title contenders. But the only fear is that they have other teams that are around them that are a bit challenging themselves. And they even faced those particular teams in the 8 games that they played. Okay, the Denver Nuggets. Even though they won that particular game, some people were saying that, the starters weren't playing. So the Lakers had a much better advantage of getting that particular win. And also, having the clutch of Kyle Kuzma shooting that 3. So that was also another theory. But me personally, I just overall the defense and more improved shooting from the Lakers in that particular game was the huge effect in winning that particular games. And the Clippers, they won that particular game, but it was like an ugly win if you really want to think about that particular scenario. It's just, and also they didn't have Harold, and they also didn't have Lou Williams, so that played also another role as well. But regardless, even when they had them in the regular season before COVID-19 came around, the Lakers did get a win over them. So before COVID-19, so or the shutdown of the NBA, so. There's a lot of theories when it comes to how the Lakers played. And, we can think about every single way of how the Lakers played well or played differently. And we already know what's the lack of how the Lakers played and what's the good from the Los Angeles Lakers. So, but overall, really, guys, it was something different how the Lakers and the NBA returned, and how they only played 8 games instead of having those 18 games remaining of the regular season. Instead of playing those particular number of games, they just broke that down and had 8 games. So it is basically what it is. I am very proud of the NBA and Adam Silver for making this NBA return happen. While whether you have some other teams and other other leagues and other organizations in the sports world that are still lacking a potential return of their particular sporting because of COVID-19. But I don't know. I think they should take a little bit of a playbook of Adam Silver and the NBA, how they made that particular this particular return happen. So. I commend the NBA by making this NBA return happen. There was some entertainment that we saw when it comes to the Lakers, how they play, and most of the teams in the NBA as well. But there is still that little fan in me saying, I'd rather be there and just cheering them on instead of doing it virtually. But it is what it is, guys. We are in a pandemic, and we just have to deal what we have in front of us. So, and hopefully it just goes away very soon. But yeah, guys, that's all I really have to say. I mean, it was a great experience to see the Lakers back playing those 8 games. Like I said in the beginning, they are 3-5 into the NBA restart in those 8 games, and the Lakers are now the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and there still remains to be seen who are they potentially going to be facing. My indication that they could be facing the Portland Trailblazers. That still remains to be seen because, like I said, they are still playing. The Suns are still playing. The Memphis Grizzlies are still playing, and also the Portland Trailblazers. They are going to be playing tonight. Last time I checked, tonight. So it's going to be all down to the wire. Who the Lakers are going to be facing, because anything can change. Really, anything can change. I'm saying it right now that it could be the Portland Trailblazers, but if I had to say, I wish that it could be the Memphis Grizzlies or the Suns, because that could be an easy matchup for the Lakers when it comes to the first round. And, it just fits very well in my own opinion. But, either way, like Kyle Kuzma said, I mean, if they face anybody, I'm just paraphrasing, but if it faces anybody, the Blazers, the Lakers are well qualified to, defeat that particular team, and the Portland Trailblazers is that particular team. So we just have to see, and if something does come up, like always, I'll post on my community chat and of course on my social media sites when it comes to that particular that particular clutch of who will the Lakers be facing in the playoffs. But all indications are showing, and potentially it could. And guys, it could be any of those particular teams that are in that particular tie in the 9th or 8th spot. So still remains to be seen about that. And honestly, I'm just so glad that the Lakers are now back into playoff contention. And they are in the first seat in the Western Conference, all thanks to LeBron James and Anthony Davis and the rest of the Lakers squad. And, when it comes to, any news regarding to the Lakers leading to the playoffs, I'll keep you guys up to date about everything that goes down when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers in my channel and all my social media sites and my community chat. So stay tuned for those particular reports. And honestly, I just really can't wait when it comes to playoff time, when we see LeBron James and being in playoff mode, and Anthony Davis, what he will bring to the table, and potentially with the rest of the veterans that are on the Los Angeles Lakers who have playoff experience, like Danny Green, like JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, you name them all. I mean, those are the particular players that have to really step up when it comes to the Lakers, and that particular goal in mind in the playoffs to not just compete very well in the playoffs, but also having a goal in mind to win a championship for the city of LA and for the organization. So I just really can't wait for the playoffs to finally be back for the Los Angeles Lakers moving forward. So guys, please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel, share my videos all over Facebook, Twitter, all the good social media stuff, and please give me your thoughts about the wrap up of the Lakers NBA restart of the NBA 8 games at the bubble. What do you guys think about it? Do you guys agree with my analysis that there could be a lot? I mean, I said a lot in this video, but if you guys agree with me, please comment down below. If you guys have some other theories, I would love to hear them. Please comment down below. Give me your thoughts about the Lakers NBA restart. Was there some good perks or bad perks about the Lakers, how they played in the bubble, or do you think and also what was the lack of performance that the Lakers need to improve on? Now, obviously it's the shooting, but if you guys think there's something else that the Lakers need to improve as well, I would really want to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and when it comes to playoff time, I'll keep you guys with a lot of coverage for the playoffs when it comes to the Lakers and who will they be facing moving forward, and similar videos like this. So stay tuned for that. And when it comes to any sort of news around the Los Angeles Lakers, like always, I'll deliver to you guys on this channel, so you guys will know, and all of my social media sites as well. So stay on top of that, I'll leave the links in the description of this video of all my social media sites: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course there's a link to my channel as well. So subscribe to my channel and comment, share my videos, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.